Morning, everyone. This morning we have a couple of proclamations that are very important. Today we have NAMI. We are proclaiming Minority Mental Health Month. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and read this proclamation that is so very important. And I just have to thank you all so much for the strong advocacy that you guys provide, along with, partners that you have that advocate for the same thing, because this is a very important issue that we all need to know about, continue to get educated about, and of course support. So whereas B.B. Moore Campbell National Minority Mental Health Awareness has been created to enhance public awareness of mental illness, especially within minority communities. The National Alliance on Mental Health, or NAMI, reports 1 in 5 adults experience a mental illness, while 1 in 20 experience a serious mental illness. And whereas, according to a report from the Office of Minority and National Affairs for the American Psychiatric Association, although mental illness impacts all people, African Americans experience a much greater unmet need for mental health services and receive a lesser quality of care, thereby resulting in mental health disparities. And whereas nearly 2/3 of all people with a diagnosable mental illness do not seek mental health treatment due to stigma, lack of community-based resources, inadequate diagnosis, or no diagnosis. And whereas communities of color are in need of culturally competent mental health resources and the training of all healthcare providers to serve multi-ethnic consumers, the faiths, customs, values, and traditions of a variety of ethnic groups should be taken into consideration when attempting to treat and diagnose mental illness. And whereas community mobilization of resources is needed to educate, advocate for, and train mental health providers to help remove barriers to treatment of mental disorders and access to mental health treatment and services is of paramount importance. And whereas there is a need to encourage primary care physicians to offer screening, partner with mental health providers, and seek the appropriate referral to specialists, and to encourage timely and accurate diagnosis. So now, therefore, pursuant to the powers vested in me as the mayor of the city of Corpus Christi, I do hereby proclaim July of 2022 B.B. Moore Campbell National Minority Mental Health Month in the city of Corpus Christi. And of course, we encourage all residents to join NAMI, Greater Corpus Christi, in working to improve equity in our community when it comes to providing services and resources to all members of our great city.
Thank you, Mayor. We really appreciate it. So I recently learned that BIPOC is now the desired phrase to use rather than minority. At our event we had last Thursday, one of our panelists mentioned that just being considered minority was somewhat discriminating. And so now we're learning, we learn so much each day. BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, People of Color. So BIPOC. Yes. Wow. In Austin, they're doing BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month. I know, it's so different. So maybe next year we'll do that. No, we can do it next year. But I just want to say thank you for the proclamation. Since we've been here in Corpus Christi the last 5 years, we've done proclamations for Mental Health Awareness Month in May. But this is the first year that we also did Minority Mental Health Month. And so I think it's so important because a lot of the population in Corpus Christi is considered the minority population. And we just want to bring awareness, because being culturally competent as just everybody, not only mental health providers, but, just people in general. I learned so much from the panelists. We have a few with us here today who are on our panel. One of them is Wally, who is Indigenous. Yes. And he taught us stuff about his culture that we had no idea. So it's just getting out there, talking about it, not being afraid to start the conversation. And at the end of the day, we're all the same. We bleed the same. We breathe the same air. It doesn't matter what our race or ethnicity is. Thank you very much. And then Erin, did you want to say a little bit? You're good? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Here, I'll jump in here. And next is our team, Parks and Rec. All right. Y'all come on in, slide in. Yeah, scoot up a little bit, guys. Scoot up. Steps forward. 2. Are we lined up? Okay, you can get them right. So next we have another special proclamation for our very own team, our Parks and Recreation team. And I want to thank Lisa Oliver for suggesting that we recognize such an important, every department is important, but this one, boy, they have their hands full, always. So with that, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation on National Parks and Recreation Month. So whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Corpus Christi, the programs are vitally important to establishing and maintaining the quality of life in our communities, ensuring the health of all citizens, and contributing to the economic and environmental well-being of a community and region. And whereas parks and recreation programs promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, and promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being. Parks and Recreation encourages physical activities by providing space for popular sports, trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas Parks and Recreation programs increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas our Parks and Recreation is natural and fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community and is essential and adaptable infrastructure that makes our community resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. Our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. Now, therefore, pursuant to the powers vested in me as the mayor of the city of Corpus Christi, I do hereby proclaim July of 2022 National Parks and Recreation Month in the city of Corpus Christi, and I urge every resident to take time during this month to recognize the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources. So, as this stated, you guys do so much, but the basis is really connecting people, right, with the outdoors in a million different ways. But I know one thing I so enjoy, especially after long days, is just taking a walk down the street, and there's always a park somewhere, right? And you enjoy that. And it's just amazing to me how much tranquility and peace that really gives. So aside from literally parks that you focus on, you do so much more. The Games of Texas just happened, and that is a huge event that brought thousands of spectators and athletes here. And I know it's a lot of work. So I just want to thank you for everything y'all do. I know the council takes this particular board, all of them, but we know the importance of what you bring to this community and to every single neighborhood. So with that, who would like to say a few words? Robert.
Thank you very much. Just to use an old coaching phrase, it's not always about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. We can prepare and do our end in the office, but until you get these people out here working on a daily basis, without them we couldn't survive. We got a whole group of people, and we would have liked to have more here today, but they're out working. So that's a good thing. So these are my Jimmies and my Joes, and they work their tail off, and just excited about being the director and obviously being able to lead my team.
That's awesome.
So,
Thank you, Robert. So here, we'll just jump in here and hold that. I know, you know what? The shorties are in the front. Thank you, Kevin. Love you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for really.
Good morning, Mayor. We are very happy today to make a short presentation about our recent cultural exchange in Agen, France. There was a delegation today that went to Agen that was led by Councilmember Roland Barrera and his wife Cindy, and also included were Wes Horn, Adria Vasquez, Mirza Meyerly, and Drs. Satanto and Xiaoshan Chen, who performed. They could not be here today because they are teaching at Del Mar. They're professors of piano. We also have with us today members of our committee, our Vice Chair, Luis Cabrera, and our newest member, Art Wallace. And we're happy to report that we had a wonderful exchange. We visited a major lighting company that actually has a subsidiary in Robstown, Texas. What we really focused on was the student exchange for next year, which is very important to the mayor of Agen. And we hope to go into further dialogue about that and intensively and to get a good exchange with them this year. But we have a couple of things for you. First, we have gifts from the mayor for you, Mayor Jean Dionos, who will be traveling with a delegation at the end of October 27th through November the 2nd. A major delegation with him and council members, members of his staff, and sister city members. And we are planning in the planning stages of a wonderful reception, a wonderful event, a major concert, which will occur on October the 28th. But we have a clip to play of the wonderful performance by Drs. Sutanto and Xiaoshan Chen to a packed crowd of about 200 to 300 people in Agen. Very well received. If you might allow us to play that.
Yes, absolutely. Councilman Barrera, would you like to?
Sure. And, you know, Mayor, it was such a privilege to attend on behalf of the city of Corpus Christi and to experience a community that has roots to 600 years before Christ. And, you know, Agen is the seat of an area of about 100,000 people. It's a small community, only 35,000. And, you know, I would think that something that you might want to pick up from the mayor over there, because when we went to City Hall, which I believe is about 300 years old, what is it? They said, we know the mayor's here because his bike is right out front. But the mayor had extended, not the Escalade. But seriously, you know, one of the things is that he said that the root of the sister cities is student exchange. And their vision is for their community to understand what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. The dream that is America is exactly what he said. and then for our students to experience the culture of a community that's over 2,000 years old. And for us to have that exchange of ideas, and it was such a privilege. Thank you so much for allowing me to attend, and there's so much we could talk about. And I think that when we have this exchange again and they come see us in October, it'll be fantastic. We look forward to it. Thank you.
And thank you, Councilman, for doing that in my stead. I appreciate it, and I agree with you. From day one, Melody was one of the people that I said in regards to this committee that we're going to rebuild it, and we are rebuilding it, and we are going to keep it strong because it is critical. In my opinion, as mayor, it is critical, and it is about culture, and it is about relationships. And as we saw yesterday, you know, with Yokosuka, we have a very strong naval history together. So it's amazing what it does, and I think it's very important for the city of Corpus Christi to take part, for our you know, the exchange part, our children and our students to take part in other cultures through this committee. So thank you all for serving. I really appreciate everything you do. You guys have been kind of flying, you know, in a difficult air, right, for some time, but I know we've got this back on track, and I, as I have before said, we are making this stronger. We'll continue to do that because it's very important to me. Thank you for your support. Absolutely, and thank you for bringing the gifts. Thank you. Thank you all. Yay, thank you, Melissa.